Hey, what's going on, guys? Thanks for dropping by for this daily content that I drop you every single day from Tokyo, Japan. I truly appreciate the guys who are dropping by every single day, the regular viewers, and the guys out there who are watching for the very first time. Thank you both. You guys, it's great to be able to make content and have people out there watching it, so thank you very much for that. Now, today what we're going to be doing is a bit of a funny video. We are going to be looking at the Nike Air Max 270 Cactus Jacks, the Cactus Trails, and I'm asking a question in the title of this video, which is what links that shoe to the Kyrie 6s, and there is something in my mind that links to that shoe. Now, I say in my mind because if you remember yesterday's video, if you saw that about the Ben & Jerry's chunky dunks, I had a particular opinion about that, which may not be the regular opinion that people are without there. But what I said was, if you have a difference of opinion, I don't mind that. I like it when people have a difference of opinion. In fact, I think it's healthy that people have differences of opinion. And maybe what I say today about these 270 Air Maxes is, some people out there won't appreciate it, but that's okay. You don't have to agree with me. But do sit back and enjoy this video, because I'm going to talk about where this shoe fits in that line of Travis Scott collaborations with the Nike brand. I'm going to talk about the parts on this sneaker that are unique and important to know about, and also we'll do what I said in this the title of this video, which is find the link between the Nike Air Max 270 Cactus Jack Travis Scott Cactus Trails and the Kyrie 6s. This is the Tokyo Butter 23 Sneaker Channel. Tokyo Butter 23 Sneaker Channel des Mainichi, absolutely no day. Mainichi Mirikura sign. Every single day from Tokyo, Japan, I bring you content about upcoming sneaker releases, sneaker news, and sneaker reviews. And today what we're looking at is that upcoming release of the Nike Air Max 270 Cactus Jacks. And there have been a lot of Travis Scott collaborations with Nike over the last maybe 18 months or so. Started off a little bit obscure with some Jordan sneakers. I think there's a Jordan maybe 33 in there, and then there's another funky Jordan I've forgotten the name of, but most of the other ones are pretty much in everybody's mind's eye, and you can, if somebody says Cactus Jack Nike collaboration, you can think of a few sneakers along the way. And where does this one fit into that sort of library of Cactus Jack collaborations with Nike? So we'll look at that and look at the details on the sneaker. But first things first, I always answer the question as early as possible in the video. I don't like to keep you guys hanging on. That's not how I roll. And the question in this video today is what links the Nike Air Max 270 Cactus Jacks, the Cactus Trails, and the Kyrie 6s. And I think this, boom, right there, links the two together. What you're looking at there is one of the first Kyrie 6s. Now, the Kyrie 6, well, the Kyrie line has done a few concepts, branded sort of collaborations, and this Kyrie 6 was a release that came out. It's called the Capri. And there were two sneakers. You can see them behind me here, a salmon pink one with a really nice sort of icy blue outsole. And then the other one was much more Egyptian. It really went in for those highlights on there for the Egyptian mummy and the pyramid and things like that. And I preferred the kind of white and gold ones with the black on there as opposed to the salmon and blue ones, which is fine. You know, people are allowed to have their opinion, but maybe you don't know this, but the white and gold ones are actually grade schools and the salmon pink ones were full-sized runs. And I preferred the grade school ones. And for me, this upcoming release of these Cactus Trails, the grade school ones are cooler. So here's the grade school one there. I actually think that's a nicer looking sneaker than this right here, the regular men's size run that's coming out. And particularly there's one place on these grade schools, back to the grade schools, that I think is really, really cool and they should have brought over. And just looking at the full sneaker, can you guess what I'm talking about? Do you know which particular feature we're going to zoom in on and say this is what they should have brought through to the men's run? Yes, it's the top of that tongue right there where you can see that Cactus Jack sort of cactus shaped design that you see in many places on his sneakers, sometimes on the heel, sometimes on the insole. And in the case of these guys up there at the top of the tongue, very cool feature, should have been on the men's run. And I would much prefer to have seen it there. So the connection for me is that going back to these Kyrie 6s, it was the grade school one that was the cooler sneaker, and then coming forward to these Cactus Trails, again, it's the grade school one that's the cooler sneaker. But we're not going to look at the grade school one today. We're going to look at the men's run, the full size run, and look at that sneaker and decide, and not decide really, but look at the main little points on there. There are, I can think off the top of my head, 4 different things that you guys should know about in relation to that shoe. And before we get into those little details which make, which are kind of cool, I've got to give them a kind of cool, I'm going to rank this shoe in, the sort of Travis Scott collaborations with the Nike brand. Now for me, let's look at, say, Air Force Ones. Here's an Air Force One. There have been at least 3 Travis Scott collaborations with the Air Force Ones, and I thought they were all pretty average, except this one here, which I thought was awful. And I did a video about it, and I just said that. That's how I roll at my channel. I just call it how I see it. And those Air Force Ones with that kind of like shroud, I think they called it on there, woo, did not like that at all. But then if we fast forward, let's go to the SB Dunk Lows. Took me a while to warm up to these, I have to be honest. When I looked at them for the first time, there was like 6 different materials, I think, playing off each other on there, and I was kind of like, it's a bit busy. But it took me a while to sort of warm up to them, and I was like, you know what, actually, yeah, it's kind of cool. Okay, I'll give you that one. And then we get to Jordans. Let's have a look at 2 pairs of Jordans, and you know, sort of one after the other, because they're very similar shoes. The Jordan 1 highs and the Jordan 1 lows, very, very similar, and that swoosh sort of detail on there was a big thing with the back to front swoosh on it. I remember doing a video about blazers. I think it was an upside down swoosh on those, whereas this one I think it's a back to front swoosh, but I sometimes mix that up. But anyway, those Jordans there. Now honestly, sorry if you don't like my opinions, but these are just my opinions. It depends on the day whether I like these Jordan 1s. Sometimes I look at them and think, man, that's a sweet sneaker, and other times I look at them and think, bit gimmicky. So it depends on the day whether I'm in on them. And what I'm definitely in on, what I'm definitely a yes about, and in this order, these 6s here, absolutely beautiful sneaker, very, very cool. Thought it was a great sneaker, great design, great little hits on there, the balance between the collaborator and the shoe itself, all beautiful, loved it. Topped off by this here, I thought was an even better sneaker, but this was a much rarer drop, the yellow 6s, and I would definitely have dipped into my pocket to try and grab a hold of those if I could have, if they had a broader, more general run. And then anything that's a 4, anything 4s, you know I love my 4s. The Jordan 4 is my first ever Jordan sneaker, and I love the 4s, and there have been 3 or 4 Cactus Jack collaborations with that, and I think the purple ones are quite a rare one out there as well. So in that sort of spectrum of Cactus Jack Jordan tie-ups, I'm gonna have to put this guy, this Cactus Trail, pretty low. I'd put it down beside that Air Force One that I don't particularly like. Between the Dunks and the Air Force Ones, I don't really see the point of the shoe. I know there's a tie-up to Travis Scott, like outdoorsy, to his youth. There's meant to be a sort of looking back to the past sort of feel about the shoe, which is ironically what a lot of the Air Force One, the most recent Air Force One, was about, looking back to his youth. And I get that, and I get that they've aged these Cactus Trails to make it look like they have a bit of use about them, and they've got a bit of wear in them even before you buy them, especially on the midsole. Hopefully I can zoom in on the midsole here and you can see how it's got a bit of a weathered look about it. So I do get the story of that, but it just doesn't fit with the sort of all the other shoes with these like high class premium collaborations or really iconic Jordan sneakers that have got a new twist on them, and then we come along with an Air Max 270. It's already like, and then, you know, the React sole on there, you know, there's a lot that just sort of goes, for me. So, but that's just me. That's where it fits in. Maybe for you out there, you've got a difference of opinion. You're like, no, you're all wrong. The Air Force Ones go way higher in the rankings for this reason, or the Jordan 4s go lower for this reason. Let me know. I don't mind. I appreciate when people have a difference of opinion from me, and I appreciate when they agree with me. Both are fine. But anyway, let's get into this shoe and have a look at some of the details on it. A couple of things I wanted to look at. Now, one that I really took the time to look at is I think it's towards the back of the midsole in the medial and the lateral sides. Now, on the lateral side, there's a swoosh, a gold swoosh on the gold midsole, so it blends in on there. It's not got any contrast going on. But on the medial side, I think I'm right in saying it says Nike React. Now, I might have got that the wrong way around, but either way, there is a gold swoosh, I think, on the lateral side, and then a Nike React branding on the medial side. Now, sometimes it looks like this, and what you should be able to see there is a deliberately weathered Nike React on there, but not always. And I thought when I first saw these that was part of the design of the shoe, but then I've seen other shoes and other pictures and, you know, other stuff on the internet and Twitter and Instagram and whatnot, where that isn't as weathered as it looks in this picture here. So I think just for the shoot here, they weathered it that way, and you should be aware of that. But that whole midsole section on there is kind of, you know, extra weathered, shall we say. Now, another place to look at on these guys, lace locks. Let's go up to the lace locks and have a look at that, because that's kind of a unique thing. You can see that unique 270 like Air Max sort of font across the top of the tongue, and then just below that you've got those lace locks, which provide a kind of contrast and a bit of colour, because the rest of the shoe is in these earthy tones, but then for some reason up there on the lacing system they add a bit more colour, a bit more fire, with some reds coming in there and blues as well, and that lace lock, it really pops off a bit more than anywhere else on the shoe. And speaking of popping off, let's go and have a look on the insole and inside, because that's where you see that classic Cactus Jack branding in two different ways. I love a mismatched insole. I like it when they do that, because it tells me that they've taken a bit of time over design, especially because it costs a bit more money, and I know that they're taking a bit more effort for cost, ratios and stuff like that. So I like it when they're mismatched, and what you can see here with these two insoles is that one has got that kind of smiley face that I remember seeing particularly on the heel of the Jordan 1s, and then you've got on the other one that cross Cactus Jack branding, which we already saw in the grade schools there. So like those insoles, I think it's very, very cool. Bit of a problem that insole is one of my favorite parts of it, and then an equally big problem is what took me a while to track these down is the outsole, because most of the places I looked for the outsole I couldn't find it. It took me a while to look at this here, and I think it's beige on gold, or gold on beige, whichever way you look at it, and it's a great looking outsole. It's really got a lot of character about it, and you can see that React kind of design and technology already working off in there, but it looks really great. But it's a terrible thing to say about a shoe that my two favorite parts are the outsole, rarely seen, and the insole, even more rarely seen. You want your favorite parts in a shoe to be, outside on the upper, on the laces, on the toe box, on the heel, on the tongue, whatever. But the fact that I'm going with the insole and the outsole is a bit for me. So that's just my take on the shoe. I know that there's more to it. I know there's a lot of people out there that will just jump on these regardless. I was really surprised to see those Ben & Jerry's still going for like thousands of dollars, because I'd put this shoe in the same sort of ranking as that. It's just not really my thing, and I think there's too much hype and too much branding on it and not enough actual good shoe in there. I mean, a Nike Air Max 270 React isn't exactly, a shoe to drool over. So it just for me, but that's just me. Please tell me if you have a difference of opinion. I really appreciate that. I like it when people do have differences of opinion. I think having a difference of opinion is a good thing, and being able to talk about it without actually hating each other is a good thing too. So if you disagree, that's fine. Just let me know. But now it's time for me to sign off. Thank you guys for checking out the content. Like I say, I'm doing this every single day. We're just past midnight on Sunday night, Monday morning here, and this is Monday's video, so hopefully we'll get that up by the end of today. I almost missed a video earlier this week. I think it was 2 days ago. I accidentally had the video scheduled to drop the day later, and if I hadn't noticed, I would have missed my run of consecutive daily drop days. But I did notice, managed to get it up there a couple of hours late, but still it was on the right day, so the daily drops are still coming, and this one will be the one for Monday. Now the shoe, I think I'm right in saying it's May 29th that this guy drops, so there's still a few days before it comes out. If you're planning on getting them, let me know how you feel about getting them in hand. Okay, it's time for me to sign off and do what I do at the end of every video. Now I'm trying to be more creative about this. I say the same things, but I do it in a different way. And I'm trying to make it a little bit more interesting, and a couple of people out there who are watching really appreciate that and tell me that they feel the kind of connection to me doing it in a different way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, how can I do this? It's a trail sneaker, it's a Nike sneaker, it's Cactus Jack. It's Cactus Jack. Let's be a cactus. Thank you for checking out the content today, and you know what? I do this every single day, so that means that you are guaranteed to see me tomorrow.